studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. It's mid-major and now high major conference championship week in college basketball. World Baseball Classic. The United States slipped by. Thanks to Italy, the Italians. The Italian Americans from Staten Island, Michigan, Jersey Shore, and New York City take down Mexico yesterday in the World Baseball Classic in dramatic fashion. A lot of offense in that one, and the United States were able to move on off of tiebreakers. So that's number one. Number two is this is a day where a week from today we'll be watching the NCAA tournament, but right now you're watching all the conference tournaments, which is a lot of fun because all these teams are getting knocked off left and right, all these at-large teams. And you're wondering who's going to make the tournament, who's going to make the tournament. And if you're not a college basketball fan, what you need to know is that the bubble this year, and the bubble is the teams that could make it at large. You know, the top 30, 40 teams that are around the bubble. Those teams are losing early in their conference tournament. So a lot of these teams are in trouble. And one of the big stories of the college basketball season was Miami of Ohio, the Redhawks of the Mid-American Conference, the MAC. And a program that, you know, hasn't necessarily done a ton, especially on the basketball side, but they finished the regular season at 31-0. 31-0. And really ever since Wally Szczerbiak was there, haven't really seen much action, but 31-0 in the regular season. They beat their rival Ohio in the last game of the regular season. They get to the Mid-American Conference tournament. They automatically are in the quarterfinal today. Frank Martin, the head coach of UMass, who is in the Mid-American Conference, knock off the Redhawks in the first game they play in their conference tournament, 87-83. They are now officially 31-1. The MAC could be a two-bid conference. Usually the team that wins conference championship gets in, and that is it. That is what they call a bid steal. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo. We got Damian Perez, hockey subbing behind the glass today. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Streaming live on YouTube at ESPN South Florida and ESPN West Palm on Twitter and Facebook. Mike Rizzo, you are a Ohio Bobcat fan.
Yeah, you know, Battle of the Bricks. I can't stand Miami. Can't stand those filthy birds.
31-1, Mid-American Conference, winning a lot of games to finish off the year. They got the MAC Player of the Year. They lose the quarterfinal of their tournament. Do they get it?
Well, my green and white says absolutely not. Keep them out. But realistic Mike Rizzo says probably they get in. I mean, you got if just because they went undefeated, they went 31-0. I think they get in. And Kyle, I actually agree with you. I want to give you the floor because I agree with what you think they should do because I think it would make a lot of people watch something that we're already sour on in the first place.
Well, I mean, Miami of Ohio now, they were supposed to be, and remember, if you win your conference championship, you cannot play in the first four. You're not going to play in your first four unless you're a 16. So you're not going to be the 11 seed playing in there. And what now we have to deal with is where do you put Miami of Ohio? Do they get in? Teams that are on the bubble, excluding them, are teams like Texas, who lost in the first round of their as the SEC champion conference tournament against Ole Miss. SMU, who lost to Louisville. And you put in Auburn, who's playing Tennessee right now. You put in, who has 15 losses, by the way. Cal was a bubble team. They lost. Stanford was a bubble team. They lost. All of these teams have lost. So the bubble is getting thinner and thinner as we continue going on here. From our perspective, you gotta start to make some decisions because to put some context into it, Miami of Ohio is 31-1. Their strength of schedule is 307.
Yeah, it's bad. Their out-of-conference schedule is an absolute joke, hence how they were able to go undefeated. Listen, the Mid-American Conference, any conference, a tough conference all year long.
Between each other, yes.
To go undefeated in the conference is great, but the issue is early on in the season, these teams usually schedule a Power 5 team, someone in the ACC, SEC, Big Ten. That wasn't the case for Miami. Colin, you put them in the first four. You put them in the first four, and you make them earn their way into the NCAA tournament. That's what you do. And listen, I think the first four, it's a waste of time. In my opinion, we didn't need the first four. It was good at 64. We didn't need the first four. But I think this gives you added interest to watch the first four if a team like Miami of Ohio is in it, because you want to tune in to see if they're any good.
Bruce Pearl, who was the former head coach of Auburn basketball, who's been around college basketball for about 30 years, he left the team at the beginning of the year and left it to his son, Stephen Pearl, to run the team. Stephen Pearl, a year removed from Auburn, making it all the way to the Final Four, went 17-15. Their strength of schedule is fourth in the country.
And
so
they
it's as good as it gets. They've played everybody. They played Arizona. They played Michigan. They played Duke. They've played everybody. They got killed by all three, but they've played everybody.
And I'm expecting they have some SEC caliber
They beat
tier
Florida.
1 wins.
They beat Florida.
Okay.
So that's their big win of the year.
Okay.
They are 4-12 in quad 1 wins. Quad 1 is you play a top 30 team at home, you play a top 50 team on neutral site, or you play a top 75 team on the road. They're 4-12 in quad 1. They're 3-2 in quad 2. That is the level below that. 4-1 in quad 3, which means they have a bad loss on the resume, and 6-0 in quad 4. Whereas Miami of Ohio is 31-1. They're 15-1 in quad 4. So the loss today to UMass was a quad 4 loss. 11-0 in quad 3, 2-0 in quad 2, and 0.
They don't have any quad 1s. Yeah.
In quad 1.
Now, Kyle, that's the luxury for Auburn. It's the luxury of playing an SEC schedule. You get quad 1 matchups.
And they schedule tough teams at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, you get quad 1 matchups all year long.
I mean, I get it. 16 quad 1 wins is nothing to scoff at, but 15 losses.
My worry is that Miami of Ohio gets in and plays in that first four. It just gets eviscerated. And to be fair,
would that not be funny in a weird way? If you're not a Miami of Ohio fan, they go 31-0 and then go 0-2 to finish the year.
And to be quite honest, Colin, their final 3 games of conference play, they won by 2 points. And it was a flip of the coin with how those, I mean, the mighty Bobcats stand up and cheer.
Yeah.
Stand up and cheer Athens, Ohio. That went to overtime, for God's sakes. Listen.
I'm not going to pin that against them. You're allowed to win close. You're allowed to win close.
2 points.
I agree. That's a little magic. There's a little magic
quad 4
there.
teams.
Believe some
It's
magic.
a quad 2 teams.
Believe in some magic.
Listen,
Being a little unfair.
I think it'd be cool as someone who graduated from the Mid-American Conference school. I think it would be cool to see 2 MAC teams in there. But do we need 2 MAC? You know what? That's the Big Ten in me.
Are you dying to see? Are you dying to see Texas?
You'll probably get a better game. Whoever they play, I'm assuming, Colin, they'd be an 11, a 10 or an 11.
Are you dying to see Texas? Who, by the way, in conference was 9-9. They're 18-14 overall. You're dying to see Texas.
Listen,
you're dying to see SMU.
We are officially in the era where teams with 14 losses are allowed in the tournament.
Well, it's a bad bubble this year. That's right. A lot of these fringe teams have had poor finishes to the year.
Now, St. Louis, Colin, they're in. No matter. And St. Louis, the only reason I bring them up, they are a mid-major.
Well, and Atlantic 10 is in between, but yes.
Oh, that's the land of misfit toys.
It's close. It's close.
The island of misfit toys.
That's a multi-bid conference. They'll get 2 or 3 bids.
Understood. The only reason I ask is because, are we going to see this year multiple mid-majors get 2 teams? I don't necessarily see that. That's because, St. Louis, and forgive me, I don't know what the A-10, I don't know what the landscape of that is looking like on March the 12th, but I think this would be the only case where you're going to get 2 mid-majors. And you throw them in the first 4 because you're not sure if they're good or not. And if they're not any good, hey, you got your big dance against your first quad 1 opponent. Colin, that'll be their first quad 1 opponent if they do play in that first 4. And granted, if they do get in as an at-large, that would be their first quad 1 game either way. Right. So you're going to find out quick if that team's any good. And I worry because of how they won the final 3 games of their season.
I mean, the bottom line is you worry that they're not any good, but you got to reward a resume. You got to reward 31-0. I don't care. I mean, the difficulty to not slip up, and the second they went 10-0. From then on, the last 21 games of the regular season, they were getting everybody's best shot, right? Because you want to be the team to knock them off. Yeah. We were following along at 15-0, 16-0, 17-0. You're getting everybody's best shot, road games, home games. So because of that, you got to tip your cap because why do we have the tournament at 64 teams? Not to have 64 Power Fives, to have 64 teams that had unbelievable seasons, put them in a hodgepodge, chaotic tournament where it's on top of each other, and see who comes out on top.
So you'd be okay with them being in at large?
I'd be okay with them being in at large. I would agree with you. I do think they're going to be they're going to be a first 4.
It'd be fun, though.
Put them against Auburn. You tell me Auburn versus Miami of Ohio in Dayton, by the way. So you tell me that won't be packed with Red Hawk Nation?
Don't ask
me.
Red
Hawk Nation. How far is Canton? How far is Canton from Oxford? Do you know?
About 3.
3 hours?
3. Yeah, about 3 hour drive.
Whole campus is going to go to that game.
3 hour drive.
It's going to be a standalone. The whole campus will go to that game. So because of that, that's why I think that's the way to do it.
Ask me what the final score of Auburn and Miami of Ohio
Where's the final score going to be?
75 to 55.
You hate the little guy.
No, I graduated from the little guy. You're not allowed to say that. I graduated from the little guy.
You're the little guy.
Colin, listen, if they eat it, and I guess I'd blow out. I keep saying eviscerated, but Colin, if they blew out every MAC team and just were by far the best team in the conference, then all right, but that's not the case. They weren't blowing out MAC teams the final month of the season. It's not. They
had blowout wins. That they were winning every game by 2, but at the end of the year, right.
They beat the mighty Bobcats, who were 15 and 16.
A lot of pressure, Mike. A lot of pressure. They're 30-0, trying to finish the year on the road against their rival. That's a tough game.
I agree, but I don't think that this is just this great mid-major team that has a chance to go to the Sweet 16. I think it's a team that hasn't played anybody all year long and is going to play against Auburn, who, Colin, do they have NBA players at Auburn? Come on, man.
You can't lose 15 games and get rewarded by it. You can't do that.
You can, because of quad 1 victories.
Oh.
You're a college basketball guy.
I know,
you know Ken Pom better than anybody.
They won 4 of them. They lost 12.
Listen to me waving the finger of Ken Pom and Colin Russo.
Well,
you know it better than I do.
I get it, but you got to reward 31-0. You got to reward it. If they lost that Ohio game,
Colin, they lost their first big game of the year. I could argue they lost their first big game of the year.
Ah, come on.
Why?
Buffalo on the road, tough game. Ohio on the road, tough game. You're wrong here.
Listen, I love that you're giving credit to the mighty Bobcats. Stand up and cheer. Brother, we were an under 500 team this year. Bobcats were under 500.
I understand.
They're free. Hear me out on this.
And it's frustrating. This leads to now a very interesting decision for the committee to make, and I think they're going to put them in.
Their first big game of the year at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. They lose to UMass. First off, how UMass is in the Mid-American Conference, I have no idea. And I am a phony because
Frank Martin underrated.
Dude, Colin, I covered Ohio football and basketball for 2 years, my final 2 years of school. I had no idea UMass joined the Mid-American Conference. I had to do I had to wipe off
the A10 for the longest time.
I had to wipe off my monocle.
I'm
like, how the hell is UMass in the Mid-American?
This is their second or third year.
You think so?
No, I know so.
It's not their first year?
They were in the A10 for a while. They were. You want me to check that for you? I'll check.
Please do. I
got to check how long Frank Martin was there.
UMass, a team that is on the East Coast, is in the Mid-American Conference. And listen, I know, Washington and USC's in the Big Ten now, but I was shocked.
Here you go.
I was shocked to see that.
Year 4 of Frank Martin, who's former coach of South Carolina, took them all the way to the Final Four. This is their first year in the MAC.
Yeah, okay, that's why. I'm like, dude, I swear I did not see that team play. Frank Martin, by the way. Dude, you remember when that South Carolina team went to the Final Four?
Darius Thornwell.
Unbelievable. I was sitting there. I think I was in college. I'm like, how the hell is Frank Martin going to the Final Four? Regardless.
So you're not if you're on the committee and you sit down, Mike Rizzo's got a seat at the table, there's you and 10 other people. You're sitting there saying, let's leave this team out?
No, they're playing in the first 4. I didn't say that. They're playing in the first 4.
All right.
Make them earn it. So what is it? Usually a 10?
It's an 11 and 16.
There you go. 11 versus 11. Miami of Ohio would be an 11. They have no quad 1 victories. And trust me.
They didn't play any games. They didn't play any quad 1s.
It's their problem.
That is
You're scheduling Mickey Mouse.
That is partially
You're scheduling the mouse.
It's not entirely. It's partially their problem. You're not wrong. It's
they're scheduling Mickey Mouse at the Magic Kingdom. Come on.
Here's one thing I'll add though. The thing about Auburn is Auburn has one of the hardest schedules in the country. So it's like you're comparing the worst of it to the other side.
Auburn, by the way, who's up 6 on ranked Tennessee at halftime.
And they're going to get in. They're going to get in. And they're going to get in because a lot of these other teams have lost too. A lot of the other bubble teams that challenge them, the SMUs of the world and the Cals of the world, the Stanfords of the world, some of them are going to get in. But the Auburns of the world who are actually winning games in their conference tournament, they're going to be fine.
My parlay, by the way, is a dead ticket. We have Tennessee -6.5. They're down, or at least with the spread, Cal 12. Now, you gave me a winner in Wisconsin. I appreciate that. How the hell is Washington playing a 2-3 zone against Wisconsin?
Team who won top 10 in the country in
That is a
three-point shooting.
disgrace. That is an absolute. Anyway, getting back on track with Miami, Kyle, you got to put them in the first four, partner. You got to make them earn it.
You're telling me that wouldn't be
Make them earn it.
That'd be a game.
Make them earn it.
That'd be appointment viewing.
Is that like
in Dayton? In Dayton.
I know, listen, like my buddies from OU, they go, well, Mike, don't forget you went to OU too. Like, trust me, I like the MAC a lot. But I think this is a little bit of my Big Ten getting in the way of you didn't play a quad one opponent all year. Go earn it. Go earn your way to that 11 seed in the NCAA tournament. It's not my problem you lost to UMass in the first round in Cleveland.
Would you have kept them away
Second
from the
round,
first four? Would you have kept them away from the first four if they won and beat UMass but lost in the next round?
Probably not. They probably would have had to go to the championship game and have some crazy game.
Well, I mean, like Akron is also 17-1 in conference. Akron is traditionally an excellent MAC school.
Trust me, John,
and a great college basketball program.
Dude, John Gross is the head coach there. That's who took the Bobcats to the Sweet 16.
He's
it's a good coach. It's a good coach.
It's a great program. They're there every year, and they're always a difficult 13 seed. They're always.
They're not the Bobcats, but they're a good program in that country. But Kyle, for them to be in at large, they would have gotten it if they won the tournament. But I think they would have at least have had to go to the championship in Cleveland. That would have been my criteria.
I thought one game was the number. I thought if they won one game,
beat UMass
they're at large. I feel like 32-1.
Instead, they fall on their face to Frank Martin.
Yeah, I know. This is exactly what we didn't need to happen.
Come on,
and this is exactly what happened.
Now you got to go earn it.
I agree. I think it'd make it an appointment viewing. I think it'd be a lot of fun to watch if you're anti-mid-major and you're rooting for the Texases of the world to get in. I don't know. Where's the fun in that? See, if it was up to me, I would put Navy in. I would put and make a two-bid Patriot League. Navy went 17-1 in conference, lost in a game winner to BU. BU, who lost to Lehigh in the championship. So Lehigh is going to be the team out of the Patriot League. And Navy, who has 5 senior starters who all stayed and played there for 4 years, and they lost on a game-winning 3 when they were up 2 against Boston. Put them in. Put them in.
Are they burned?
They're burned. They're not getting in. Not getting in. I would put a team like that in. That's fun. If they lose, okay.
You don't want Indiana? You don't want the Hoosiers in there?
Another team who lost. No, I do not want Indiana.
Are they going to get in?
No, they just lost at Northwestern yesterday. There's a high probability they're not getting in. And they lost to Ohio State. Ohio State, who played themselves into the tournament, by the way.
Yeah, and who beat Iowa today.
So that's what you have to do. If you're a bubble team, that's what you got to do. Yeah, you got to win 4 or 5 games in a row.
Yep.
If you can't be NC State finished the year losing 6 out of the last 7 games.
They're out.
Can't do that.
They lost today, huh? Who'd they play?
They're playing Virginia today. I did not see the end of the game.
I didn't see the final, but I know that Virginia won.
Beat them.
Yeah, 81-74. Now, this is a little bit of an inside joke, but St. John's, dominating Providence, Colin.
Did you see the St. John's tweet I texted you? There's something about the Big East. It's at MSG noon on a Thursday, and there was a St. John's fan who went to Twitter and said, I'll read it to you. This is fantastic.
Yeah, you wanted to throw hands.
This is what college basketball is all about.
That's why the great John Fanto loves the Big East
so much. This is why we love the Big East. He goes, quote, if there's any Providence fans who want to fight before 12 p.m. tomorrow, hop in these DMs and you can get these hands.
Jeez, oh man. Colin.
And a guy comments, he goes, your DMs are closed. Meet me outside 227 West 29th at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh my God, dude. Psychopaths.
That's the Big East. That's what we want.
Dude.
And the last time Providence and St. John's played, they had 7 guys get ejected from the game.
So you're a Big East guy, being a UConn man. Dude, I hate how they changed Madison Square Garden's court. I hate the court layout. Now, we were talking about the Big 12, how the silver is a waste of time.
Well, that's a glass court. That's like an LED color.
I actually don't mind it.
I don't like that.
I don't like how they do it doesn't look like they're playing at MSG, how they do the court. Does that make sense?
It's also early in the tournament. You don't have a great feel yet because they can't sell it out. Not for a quarterfinal. I
don't like how and maybe I'm being a nitpicker. I don't like how they do the hardwood. It doesn't even. It looks like they're playing it at Seton Hall.
The MAC tournament looks good.
Yeah, it's in Cleveland. Of course, it looks great. Right. It's at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Dump of a city.
Oh, stop it!
With terrible infrastructure, according to Mike Rizzo.
No. Our director of marketing, Christina Costanza, was there. She had a great time. She was waxing poetically about it.
You know what I'll wax poetically about? It's Hard Rock Bet, because Hard Rock Bet is your place to bet on Miami of Ohio to lose to UMass. It is your place to bet Wisconsin to cover against Washington right now in the Big Ten tournament. It's your place to bet. If you want to get out on Wright State, knocking off Detroit Mercy, you can do all this on the Hard Rock Bet app because it is March. There is college basketball all day, every day for basically the next 3 weeks. And you're going to want ways to get into the game. Your bracket's going to get busted within that first 8-9 game. We all know that. That's the game that burns you every single year, that opening 8-9. So don't get burned with that. Stay alive on the app. Go to get started today because for new bettors, your first 10 bets, maximum of a $50 bet. If you win it, you double your money. That's right. Your first 10 bets of a maximum bet of $50, you get double your money. Go bet the World Baseball Classic now that the United States is still alive. Bet United States maybe to get back on track against Canada tomorrow. Who knows? Go refer a friend and get $50 in bonus bets additionally into your account. It is all on Hard Rock Bet. Go try it today. It's payable in bonus bets and not a cash offer offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus. Physically present in front of the wager. Terms, conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833. Play wise. 888-760-3776. The number to get into the program on Russo and Rizzo. That's 888-760-3776. Miami of Ohio, one of the worst strength of schedules in the country, but they're 31-1. They lost in the quarterfinal of the MAC tournament to UMass, to the 8th seed. And now all of a sudden, the committee's going to have a decision to make. Do you put a at-large Miami of Ohio in the tournament? Do you make them play first four, or do you leave them in the big dance? What do? Do you make them one of the top 64, make them one of the top 68, or you leave them out entirely with that bad strength of schedule? Let us know. 888-760-3776. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Damian Perez. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
At HS.
In Sport Management Program. Accelerate your career in sports with the program committed to developing top-notch executives and managers with a focus on the job placement for students and graduates. The Florida Atlantic MBA in Sport Management Program.
College basketball is heating up and the tournament is almost here. Don't let your home get caught off guard. Get ready now with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can get 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the court, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS has been the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSisyes.com today. Stay cool and be ready before the madness hits.
Need an extra boost? With Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union, you can earn up to $700 each year with a 7.0% annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's real money for real moments, like a family getaway or treating yourself to something special. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2026 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2020
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Well, if you're a golf fan, you got to understand that it's now playoff time. No, not in the PGA Tour, but in the TGL, in the arena, in prime time. Don't miss the TGL playoffs presented by SoFi, beginning Tuesday, March 17th with Boston, LA, Atlanta, and Jupiter vying for the TGL championships. Shot clocks, hammer drops, timeouts, and overtime. You know the drill, but it's bigger and better. Playoff tickets are now on sale, but availability is limited. Visit TGLGolf.com to get your tickets while they last. TGL, presented by SoFi. Keep up. It is golf. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Damian Perez. 888-760-3776. Number to get into the program. Do you put Miami of Ohio in the tournament now? Mike is on the impression that you put him in the first four. Do you leave him out? Do you leave him in the group of 64? How do you handle it now that they've lost in the MAC tournament first round? 31-1 they are. So difficult times ahead if you're the selection committee, which is coming up in just about 4 days. We go to Atlanta. Carter in Atlanta joins the program now. Welcome in, Carter. What do you got in your mind?
Hey, guys. I'll give you an unbiased, or tried to be unbiased opinion on Auburn. I did go there. Been watching them all season. That said, honestly, I think that had they lost today, I'm fine keeping them out. But they're looking pretty good right now, so I think you're going to almost have to put them in. And I'm fine with just putting them in at a play-in game or the first four against Miami of Ohio. Something like about Auburn, I mean, Steven was touting the strength of schedule. I think that's great. Yeah, play a tough strength of schedule. I think you got to more so look at strength of record. And if you look at that, we're middle of the pack with all these bubble teams. So I don't know how far in you go on that. One other thing I'm going to note that you guys brought up, NC State. I think they're in. I think Lenardi said after they won it was against Pitt,
right,
they had an 89% chance of getting in. I think they're probably in, even though they lost today, which they did play pretty good.
Yeah, they're in the game. There's no doubt about that.
But yeah, I mean, that's my opinion on Auburn, at least. I don't know. I mean, I think that now, even with them playing this close, they're almost going to be in, but it's tough to look past 15 losses.
Yeah, Carter, would you feel slighted if they did not get in for whatever reason on Sunday? Let's say they win today, lose tomorrow.
No, because it's been a lousy season. They played poor in the SEC. I mean, yeah, sure, the at Florida win, that's great, but you're losing against Mississippi State.
Yeah,
I believe that was away. I don't know. I think there's just too many losses in there that are just almost don't make up for. I mean, they lost to Ole Miss at home by I believe it was 6.
Yep.
I don't think it's enough.
Yep. Good call, Carter.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Carter.
you chiming in. And one thing about Auburn, too, is all the great teams that they played throughout the year, they got pretty much dominated.
Oh, they're 7-11 in conference. 7-11. They're 4 games under 500, for God's sake.
Right. They lost a lot of games.
Dude, if they beat Tennessee, which they will, because Mike Rizzo put Tennessee in his parlay, or they're good friends at Hard Rock Bet. They're probably in. They're going to get in if they beat Tennessee.
Wisconsin, you bet them against Washington. They're in some trouble. 81-77.
By the way, Wisconsin, who is up 22 points with about 7 minutes to go in the second half, who is currently up 4 points now. Dude, it is almost impossible to predict college basketball with the runs. Dude,
anybody can beat anybody,
yeah.
Which is why you put Miami of Ohio in the tournament.
No, they don't have enough talent. Washington's got
the thing about Miami.
Washington's got some
how about
players,
this?
Dude. Miami doesn't.
Miami's top 10 in 3-point percentage, and they're top 5 in field goal percentage, and they're the second highest leading scoring team in the country.
How many quad 4 games?
A lot of them.
How many games were 2 points to end the season?
3.
Yeah, it's 3 straight, by the way, and then they lost their first game.
A lot of
in
pressure
Cleveland.
to win those games.
Stop it.
28-0 to get to 31-0.
Stop it. This wasn't the if they were blowing everyone out in the MAC, fair play to them. They had one bad game. This wasn't the case. They had 3 straight bad games where the ball bounced their direction. They should have lost in Athens, man. That kid had that 3 in overtime. He had they had chances in the fourth quarter too. Oh,
you got to play your way in, and you got to win some of these games. A lot of these teams are really having tough times. So I'm not gonna sit here and clamor for the Auburns of the world to get in. I could see it, but at the end of the day, if Auburn makes a run, you can't lose 11 games in conference and then clamor for me to get into the tournament. You can't do it. Can't do it. SMU the same way. You lose in the conference. You gotta do something. You gotta play. I mean, the whole point of the tournament is to put teams that have been hot or have put together great resumes to get in. And if you're not hot, you gotta have a great resume. And these teams that lose in the first round, the second game they play in their tournament, you're not hot and you don't have a great resume. So I can't sit here and feel bad for those fans.
For those of you that are wondering, Colin is very distracted because Wisconsin is about to lose to Washington.
2 minutes ago, it's a 2-point game.
This is unbelievable. They're up 20 points
well, Wisconsin,
5 minutes ago.
They got out of the 2-3, and now they're in a heavy man-to-man.
Hayden Steinbach has 25 points.
Haynes going to be a top 15 pick in the draft.
But still.
Top 15 pick in the draft.
Haynes Steinbach.
It's from Germany. He's a forward for Washington.
You're telling me,
I'm telling you
me that brother's a lottery pick?
Yes.
Fair play to him, man.
He's a lottery pick.
But by the way, Buckeyes lost to this team. That's when I thought they weren't good.
Probably because of him. Probably because of him.
I thought they were going to be out of the tournament when they lost that game. That's not a foul, by the way. It's a good no call.
Wisconsin, minute 25 to go. They're down 2.
It's done. It's a dead ticket.
My alma mater. Wisconsin, who can beat anybody. Their mantra is they could beat anybody, but they could lose anybody. They have 3 top 10 wins on the road, and they have a ton of terrible losses, and they're about to have another terrible loss, losing to a 16-16 Washington team.
Oh, that's a foul.
And they got a foul. They're going to get 2 free throws to tie the game with 1:07 to go. And when Wisconsin loses this game, and they get the first round, and they're a 6 seed, and they're going against 11 seed Santa Clara with Herb Sendek, who is coaching his last game for Santa Clara after 10 years. When they lose that game, 77-68, don't look at me saying, boy, what happened in Wisconsin? I'm telling you, I know how this team operates, all right? They're going to lose that game.
Guys, for some context, you could go to my Instagram, at MikeRizzo22. I made a parlay with our good friends at Hard Rock Bet.
Yeah, terrible parlay.
We call it Ride with Riz.
You were way off.
And I had Wisconsin -6. They were up 20 points with 8
I actually like the bet, too.
Minutes to go. They were up 20 points with 8 minutes to go. And then we're going to lose 10. I had Tennessee -6.5. They're dead in the water. Fade all my picks, by the way. Go to my Instagram, at MikeRizzo22. I'm not kidding. If you want to win some money tonight, fade all of my picks because I won't hit a single one. I took.
Do you bet during the tournament?
No, I just make a bracket. To be fair.
Bracket.
But with my good friends at Hard Rock Bet, I like taking overs and unders. That's what I do. I take overs and unders. Colin, to be fair, unders won me a lot of money with Hard Rock Bet. Won me a lot of money. Unders. Last year in that first round, the under won me a ton of cash. Wow. Dude, these teams, they play tight. You know what I mean? It's the NCAA tournament. It's the first round.
It's like being 28-0 and playing in a tough conference road game, and you got to win the game. It's like that.
Listen,
it's like that.
Tough conference.
You get tight.
Listen, stand up and cheer. Love my mighty Bobcats. Tough conference road game in the Mid-America Conference is certainly a word. It's a word.
You're being unfair.
Colin, they 2-point game.
Miami of Ohio needs to get into the tournament. Now, honestly,
they're first 4. I'm not keeping them out. They're first 4.
I'd make him an 8 seed. I'd make him a 9 seed.
They're first 4. But please, folks, I'm going to be making parlays over the next couple of days. Our good friends at Hard Rock Bet.
You bet against Miami. You bet Auburn in that first 4 game against Miami of Ohio.
Oh, they're
going to get burned.
Eviscerate.
And when you get
What's
burned.
What's that line?
Auburn probably be favored by 8.5, 9.5.
Hammering Auburn.
When they get burned, don't look around. Boy, Miami of Ohio. Don't do that, all right? I don't want that. I don't want any of that.
Is that how I sound, by the way?
None of that, all right? So put some respect to
you
Miami
love
Ohio.
The little guy. You love the little guy.
And I respect the little guy because you can't go 31-0 and not be pretty good. All right?
Little guy burned you. Hang on. Who are you hammering for last year that burned you? There was a little guy last year that burned you.
I was big on Clemson, and Clemson got burned
in
the first
they're
round.
not a little guy. I think I'm thinking of college football. I was thinking of college football.
No, I wasn't high on any of those guys. The thing with last year that burned me is I was big on St. John's. They lost to Arkansas.
Oh, I mean, they were in my Final Four.
And when I was
Patino was in my Final Four.
And I was down on McNeese, and McNeese won.
Yeah, I took the McNeese game. I was great after the first day, but when St. John's went down, and by the way, we were at our Top 63 event where we honor the Top 63 high school basketball players.
That's right.
And Colin and I watched our brackets just completely, disappear.
Light up in flames.
Disappear.
Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Damian Perez, NCAA Conference Tournament Week rolls on. We'll give you updates. Wisconsin up 3 with 47 seconds to go. Mark DeRosa, the manager of the American team, the USA team for the World Baseball Classic, he had a squander against Italy with how he handled the game. And he said during a MLB Network interview that He's not. He didn't know. He didn't realize that the United States did not necessarily clinch the quarterfinal. He had some interesting comments. We'll talk about it next. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees within the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 27 national championships, including their 3rd championship in women's soccer. Visit KUCHawks.com for the latest on the championship athletic programs at Kaiser University.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen, and I'm curious if anyone else takes the gas station as seriously as I do. If you pull in on the wrong side and then drag the nozzle across your trunk like you're testing the tensile strength of rubber, you just committed a turnover in the first quarter. Fundamentals matter. ESPN 106.3.
Think your season's over? Let's turn your off-season back on. Hoops is heating up on Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal way to bet the NBA. So you can bet on teams, star players, and more. With games practically every day, there's always something to parlay. Roll with Hard Rock Bet all NBA season. New users get paid double winnings on your first 10 bets. Max bet of $50 per bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
F45 Training Palm Beach Gardens is proud to be a premier partner of the Avenir 5K happening March 15th, and we want you on our team. Run, walk, or jog alongside the F45 Palm Beach Gardens community and earn an exclusive medal. Best of all, proceeds from the Avenir 5K go to K9s for Warriors, helping pair rescue dogs with military veterans facing PTSD, TBI, and
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
You ready for a little play-by-play action? You ready for this? All right, we got Andrew Rohde, the Virginia transfer, at the line for Wisconsin. It is a 1-point game. 83-82, 8.3 to go in the second half. It is the third round, not the quarterfinal, of the Big Ten tournament here and in Chicago. And Heinz Steinbeck, a future top 15 pick in the National Basketball Association, he has 25 points and 15 rebounds for Washington. As Wisconsin, a 5th seed, a projected 5 or a 6 seed in the NCAA tournament, sitting at 22-9. Be a classic loss. Colin Russo's alma mater. 8 seconds to go. Rohde at the line. Mike Rizzo and Colin Russo, by the way, with Damian Perez. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN.
Doesn't have a point all game long, by the way.
And he shoots the first free throw and he knocks it in. Andrew Rohde's he's a lunch pail guy. Passes the ball well.
Hard hat kind of man.
Dives on the floor.
Going to the mine.
And he's the only player on the team that knows how to pass. He's the only player on the team that knows how to pass.
Come on, Colin. That's out of pocket.
But he's a Virginia transfer. All right, second free throw here, 2-point game, and it is good. It's going to be a 3-point game with 8.3 to go. Now, Wisconsin could foul here.
They call timeout.
They could foul up 3. Let it go about 3 seconds. They got a foul to give. It's 1-on-1 territory, and they could totally do that.
Well, you love Greg Gard, the head coach of Wisconsin. Colin can't stand Greg Gard, head coach of Wisconsin, by the way.
You know when the last time he went to the second weekend of the tournament is?
When's the last time he went to the second weekend?
2016.
Yeah, it's a long time.
17.
God, he's been there
16,
that long.
17.
Oh, yeah, I
because
forgot.
Bo Ryan walked away 2 years after the Final Four.
Well, first off, Bo Ryan it was an absolute disgrace when that team lost in the championship, blaming everybody but the team.
Well, Justice Winslow touched the ball in overtime. That should have been Wisconsin's game. Wisconsin got screwed out of that game in 2015. They did. No, you're wrong there because they beat your Kentucky Brass.
They had no business. They had no business being in that
Kentucky
game.
Brass.
They had no business
2015, one of the
game.
great college games ever played, was undefeated Kentucky with about 7 NBA players against Frank Kaminsky and Sam Decker.
God,
and they
Decker.
took him to the house.
Listen, Olivia Harlan is a friend, so I will refrain from talking smack about Sam Decker. But for what Frank Kaminsky, what a waste of time. What a waste of time.
Who's a friend?
Olivia Harlan is married to Sam Decker. Okay. She's a friend. All right. So Sam's a good dude.
How do you know Sam Decker's wife?
First off, Kevin. So Bridget Linton.
Hold on. 5, 4, 3, 2. Step back. 3. You got a good look. Oh my goodness. Off the front of the glass. Rebound was
over.
Washington.
It's over.
Gets it off in time. 85-84 will be the final score. Got a good look.
Over. You won.
Wisconsin advances.
Former Good Karma Brands teammate Bridget Linton was friends with Olivia Harlan through the Miss USA thing, like tour pageant. You know, like Bridget was Miss Ohio.
Beauty pageant.
There you go. And Olivia, I forget what state, but I went to Cavs games with Olivia because Sam at the time was playing for the Cavs. He was on
he was not a great Cavs player.
He was, to be fair, Sam, not necessarily a great NBA player, but a really good college player.
Speaking of USA, Miss USA, how about Mr. USA, Mr. Mark DeRosa, the manager of the World Baseball Classic USA team, who snuck by the group stage thanks to Italy after losing in their fourth game against Italy in the group stage 2 days ago. The United States had to watch Italy and Mexico go head-to-head, and they needed Italy to win. That Italy did. 9-1, they won that one. And the United States squeaks on. Mark DeRosa went on a MLB Network interview about 3 days ago, and he's an MLB Network guy himself. And he did say that the United States had already clinched the quarterfinal of the World Baseball Classic while they were still in group stage with Italy yet to play. That interview resurfaced during the game. Everybody was going after him, saying you thought that they were locked in. They were not. And then now, after the game, United States loses. Mark DeRosa handles the game poorly in a bunch of different facets. And he had an interesting comment in regard to a day later, after knowing that they are going to advance. He spoke to the media, and he had this to say when in regard to talking about whether he knew that the United States had clinched the quarterfinal or not.
But no, I was well aware that we had to win that game based on all the scenarios that could take place. I mean, they went in 2-0, we went in 2-0. We knew they were playing Mexico the next day. We knew there was tiebreaker rules involved. So I can understand the questions about lineup and pitching situations. We were up against, a lot of guardrails with regards to teams, the deployment of certain relievers, how many pitches they can use, whether they can go back out, whether they can clean up innings, and you're just trying to piece it together in real time.
That was Mark DeRosa talking about how he knew that they needed to win the game against Italy. And you know what's funny? He said they were 2-0, we were 2-0. Well, weirdly enough, the United States was 3-0 going into the game, so that's another thing he screwed up. But handled the game poorly against Italy. One would say that he maybe didn't care. The players didn't care about that game. Mike Rizzo, do you think Mark DeRosa is lying to the media to save face?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You think he had no idea?
He had no idea.
Colin,
I firmly believe he didn't have a clue until about the 6th inning. Which, I like, it's your job to know that stuff. And I hate, Mark's such a good dude, man. I mentioned to you, my dad told me how great DeRosa was in the media and all that. He's a good guy. But, at the same time, it's your job to know this stuff. So you got to be hard on him. You got to hammer him, man. You got to hammer him. I wish I could sit here and tell you that, hey, I take him for his word. But no, Mark had no idea. And I don't think that dugout had an idea either until about the 6th inning too, Kyle. So,
yeah, that's a terrible job. And I totally think he's lying. Why would he admit it later after the fact? And no, he did say post-game that he miscalculated and he misspoke. So 2 contradicting things he said there in regard to how they handled that Italy game. But, if you're DeRosa, not only did you handle the game in an unacceptable manner, but the way you have handled the media, being a guy in media yourself, is unacceptable on top of that. So really is just a whole whirlwind of just miscalculations and saying the wrong thing and doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. More importantly, bad baseball management. No wonder this guy does not have managerial shots. I mean, you don't know what's going on. You do not know what's going on. And now the United States, by the grace of God, is lucky enough to play in this quarterfinal when they probably shouldn't. They probably don't deserve it, despite the wonky tournament format. They don't deserve it. And now you're in a very tough spot now because you got to make these players at least act like they care. And another thing to add to the point of whether Mark DeRosa was lying or not, do you think these players care? That's the real question. You know, you look at the other teams, the other guys care. Well, the United States, they played the Italy game like they didn't care. What happened? Well, what happened is after the game, Ryan Yarbrough, who pitched in that game, was the first guy out of the bullpen and got blown up against Italy. Clay Holmes, Matthew Boyd, who pitched against Mexico and gave up 3 early ones. All of these guys, came in relief against Mexico and gave up 3. Those guys are all leaving the team before the knockout stage. So that means they're already back with their clubs for spring training to finish off. Clay Holmes is another one. To finish off what their spring training regimen. Mike, these guys left in the middle of the tournament.
I agree.
This tournament ends on Monday.
Now, Boyd got an ultimatum from the Cubs, but the rest of them, I do agree with you. They weren't 100% bought in. They're more worried about getting ready for the major league season. A lot of the pitchers, were worried that they're not getting the reps that they need in order to get ready for the season. Didn't Mark DeRosa say these guys are bought in and they want to win a championship? That's why I'm a little confused. That's it. I mean, look at the Dominican Republic. Look at how much fun that team is having. I mean, they are the talk of the tournament. Like, going into the tournament, it's like, oh, it's USA and Japan. Dude, the DR is unreal. Their 1 through 9 is
swagger.
I think they're fun
to watch.
I think Team USA, top to bottom, as a roster, has the most talent. But I think their 1 through 9 is the DR's 1 through 9 is
I agree
better.
with you. It's stronger.
Like, I think grand total, the United States hitting and pitching has the best roster, but the DR has the best 1 through 9.
It's incredible for such a small nation to have that much talent come out of it, and they don't even have their best players on it. They don't even have Jose Ramirez is not even playing.
Jose, who should have been the starting third baseman, isn't there. Don't worry, they got Manny Machado to back him up. Another all-star. Another all-star. 2 of the best third basemen in baseball are of Dominican Republic descent.
Some official Team USA changes have been Tarek Skubal, who pitched last week, who left after the first game. He left. Ryan Yarbrough, who came in relief against Italy, also off the quarterfinal roster. And then Clay Holmes is back in Port St. Lucie with the New York Mets in their spring training, because what they're allegedly worried about is they're not getting enough innings as a reliever. They're not getting enough innings for their spring training regimen. Is that not the stupidest thing in the world?
It is.
It's 4 days.
But
it's 4 more days.
Once again, I'm going after DeRosa a little bit, but it's like,
that's not his problem. That's not his problem.
But hang on, Mark. I thought these guys were bought in. I thought the whole team was bought in, and the camaraderie, and they're all close. They don't want to leave one another.
I can't blame him for them leaving. I can't blame DeRosa. I can blame DeRosa for how they play in the game and not knowing the situation of the format, but I can't blame him for Matthew Boyd going back to the Cubs because he was given an ultimatum to be the ultimate opening day starter.
Not to get too into it, but I think Boyd and Yarbrough hurt more than the others because they're lefties. Lefties are a dime a dozen, man. Now, like, you know, you want that matchup like that. It's, like I said, getting a little into the nitty-gritty of baseball, but left-handed pitching, I think, is such a luxury for any team. And it stinks that you're probably losing 2 of your best lefties. Listen, I know Yarbrough was throwing meatballs to Team Italy, but that'll hurt. That'll hurt a little bit, I think, more than Clay Holmes and company.
Yeah, now they're in a weird spot. Granted, the pitching, those specific guys were not major strong suits. Now, guys who they brought in, Joe Ryan, who's a righty, I believe. Will Vest, who was on the Tigers, who was another righty. Tim Hill, I believe, is a bad reliever, but he is a lefty. So they got guys if you really want to get into it. But what I will say is now you're in a position where you got to win this tournament, and guys are leaving left and right. It makes you think, do the players care? I mean, do the fans care more than the players do?
I think fans like me who had a tough time sleeping.
But generally.
But like, I probably.
Right?
Probably.
The fans are probably making this tournament bigger than it actually is.
Well, hear me out on this too. You know the last time they played the Olympics in baseball was 2020? And the roster like featured no prominent big-time names. This is the only time we get to like the World Baseball Classic in 2023.
They don't allow the
year.
MLB guys to do it because it's Summer Olympics.
Like so this is the only time we get to see our pros go up against other countries' pros. Hockey has changed that. We now see Kachuk and company playing for Team USA. Like you only get the major league player playing for Team USA in the World Baseball Classic. Will it change in 2028? By the way, baseball going to be a thing in the 2028 Olympics. Forgive me, I forget where the host country is.
LA.
Okay, it's right here, so it's going to be a thing in the States.
Right.
But I think that's why I'm so into it. And I stand by what I said. I think we have the best team, top to bottom. We have the best players. We created the game. Now I know how England.
Baseball's in the Summer Olympics. Are they going to do it
in 2028?
They're going to do an international break for 3 weeks?
I have no idea. But in 2028, it is. That's according to
I wonder if
Craig Karmazin's Chat GPT, who we loosely can take for their word.
I don't know if that.
But they didn't do it. They didn't do it.
Pros will probably not be allowed in that.
They didn't do it in Paris. They didn't do it in Paris, in Paris.
We'll have to see if the pros are allowed in that.
Now. Damian Perez is our producer here at the City Place Studios. Now I understand how England feels every time the World Cup comes around. England created world football, as Americans would call it soccer. England created soccer, and they haven't won since the 60s. We haven't won a doggone thing in baseball in, what, a decade?
It's probably worse for America, too. I feel like they are more dominant than what England is in world football.
It's just we're better. I feel like we have
favorite. It's the heavy favorite.
Yeah. I feel like we have the best roster top to bottom. I can't handle losing to Italy, the B team of the United States. We lost to a bunch of Italian Americans.
The D team.
Literally, we lost to a bunch. And listen, Vinny, did you see what Vinny Pasquantino said after the game last night?
Over Mexico? What did he say?
No, he said, you're welcome, Team USA. We thought of you when you were back at your hotel room tonight.
There you go.
Yeah, so he's, they're fired up, man. Italy might win that whole thing.
They got a lot of swagger. I wouldn't be pissed.
Dude, Team USA.
I wouldn't be pissed. That team is awesome.
Team USA right now, on paper, by the way, means squat. But outside of the on-paper roster, Team USA might be the fourth best team in this competition.
The problem is they're losing guys in mid-tournament.
You got the DR, you have Japan, you have Venezuela, you have Italy, and then the updated Mike Rizzo power rankings in the World Baseball Classic has Team USA at number 5.
Here's the problem. Why?
We can't hit.
Well, the pitchers are leaving. We just lost 3 pitchers. Tarek Skubal just walked away from the team. Matthew Boyd just walked away from the team. Clay Holmes just walked away from the team. They could do that? Fine. But why is that for a tournament that lasts a week? It lasts 10 days. Play 7 games. Why is that happening? And I understand this is not Mark DeRosa's problem. This is not his problem. And honestly, it's a tough managerial role because he has to abide by the rules that the specific teams place on their specific players. So if Clay Holmes is on there and the Mets tell DeRosa, you can't pitch him more than 40 pitches in back-to-back nights or something like that, or 30 pitches in back-to-back nights. You can't do that. Well, that hinders his ability to manage a little bit. But the problem is, if they could just walk away and pull themselves out of the team, it's hard to blame the player because it's a team decision. And if it's a team decision, it tells you everything you need to know about what the MLB and whether they respect that tournament or not. And to me, I know it's good for the MLB. The MLB likes it for the promotion, but I do not think the individual team, the Cubs of the world, respect the tournament as an actual international respect pride event. I don't think they do. So I don't know if you need to change the timing, if you need to make it outside of spring training, if you need to make it in November at the end of the year and just have it in Miami.
And Colin, I have friends, baseball gurus, that tell me that, like, Mike, you're hysterical. This tournament is a waste of time. I have friends like that. And I'm like, dude, how is this?
People used to be more like that. They've gotten better about it.
My rebuttal is, how is it a waste of time when we have Aaron Judge on the roster? Like, we have guys on the roster. I'm more worried about our country getting embarrassed on the biggest stage. That's why I don't like being embarrassed as the United States in basketball, even in soccer.
That's fine.
I hate it.
You're right.
I don't
agree.
like being embarrassed in sports. We created this sport too. You can't get embarrassed in baseball.
I agree with the fact that they're the heavy favorite. I mean, if you lose the Avengers and the Dominican Republic, I can have a conversation. You can't lose that Italy team, and you can't have a manager who didn't know the rules of the format of the actual tournament. You can't do that.
Apparently,
That's unacceptable.
Apparently, Kyle, we're not a baseball country. That's what it is. We're a hockey country now.
Are we?
They won the gold.
Well, hold on. This tournament's not done yet.
You actually, watching that Team USA team, you actually think they're going to win anything? It wouldn't shock me if they lay an egg against Canada. Would not shock me. They can't hit. Brother, they can't hit.
They're not going to lose against Canada.
Colin, they can't hit, and they gave up 8 earned. What'd you call Italy's what? Their D team? The United States D team?
Yep.
Our pitching gave up 8 earned to the D team.
So Mike, I'm agreeing with you, but I do think that they will come back in a big way.
I hope so. I could only hope. I'm tired of getting embarrassed in baseball.
It's not good. And they're going to have to deal with the Dominican Republic, and likely the Dominican Republic is on their side of the bracket. So that will be on Sunday night. If the United States and the DR both win on Friday, you will have Paul Skeens starting against the Dominican Republic's lineup on Sunday night.
Who we pitch in that game?
We pitch Paul Skeens.
Logan Allen?
No, Paul Skeens.
Okay.
So we got Paul Skeens versus that Dominican Republic lineup on Sunday night. That is must watch.
We pitch at Paul Shuey. I mean, come on. Skeens better be pitching.
And he's allowed to go 95 pitches.
And he better go, like I said, he better go 6 innings.
He's allowed to go 95. That's the limit. You got to go 95, nothing more. So 95 pitches for Skeens. I know we're looking a little ahead of ourselves, but you got to hope.
Got to beat Canada.
Got to beat Canada.
Matt Tugboat Williams on the bump.
Got to beat Canada. Should they move it to the midseason? Should they do an international break? Would that split up the MLB season? We'll continue talking about it. We'll do a little 5 and 5. We got a lot more to do. It's the 5 o'clock hour of Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, and I'm here to talk about printing. Banyan Printing and Signs is ESPN West Palm's official print partner, and they are nothing short of amazing. Their quality is top-notch, their turnaround time is quick, and their team is helpful, which makes a huge difference. For over 10 years, ESPN West Palm has trusted Banyan Printing with our brand, so if you're looking for a printing partner, they are the best. You can find them online at banyanonline.com or give them a call at 561-586-6220.
Anna Jar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Want to play college basketball? Register today for the free Orange Bowl Florida High School Basketball Showcase presented by Baptist Health. Hit the hard court on Saturday, March 14th at the David Posnack JCC in Davie and show off your basketball skills in front of coaches from across the country for a chance to earn scholarships for college. The event is open to high school juniors and seniors, both boys and girls. More than $1 million is awarded each year. Register for free today at orangebowl.org.
Need an extra boost? With Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union, you can earn up to $700 each year with a 7.0% annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's real money for real moments, like a family getaway or treating yourself to something special. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit 1 checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart? Now it's time to retire and just relax. At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a staff accountant at the height of tax season.
Congrats. Looks like the company owes, $50 in taxes. How about that?
That seems low. Why only 50?
Why do you care so much? It's not your money.
This is the time for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Hop in a John Deere Gator XUV for a day's work. Let's see what's on the to-do list. There goes the tree. And the fence. Not a problem. Because you've got a cargo box filled with solutions. Up to 4,000 pounds of towing capacity. And you're ready to roll.
The power's out!
Here we go again. The Gator XUV. Built for every kind of workday. Learn more at johndeere.com/Gator XUV. Nothing runs like a deer.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2026 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2026 Defender 110 P300S for just $899 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Hi, this is Scott Smith of Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur, and most certainly never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Colin to the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
5 o'clock hour of Russo and Rizzo, live here from the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo. Damian Perez is behind the glass today, hockey subbing for Christian Catt, who was with Theo Dorsey at the Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium at spring training where Theo did the first pitch. And he had one of those moments where it went wide left and the catcher had to get up and run to his right to catch his first pitch.
It wasn't quite Mayor of Cincinnati. And by the way,
it
folks,
was nearly as bad.
if you don't know what I'm talking about, search Mayor of Cincinnati first pitch. It's the worst first pitch I've ever seen. Worse than 50 Cent, if you could believe it. But it was almost Mayor of Cincinnati bad, which has me a little nerve-eye because coming up on Tuesday, we're going to be doing it in a cacti. And listen, I'll get it over the plate. We don't got to worry about that. It looked like he slipped. The launch angle of that
Looked fine to me.
trying to come up excuses for our guy.
Looked fine to me. Looked
That's
healthy.
the same guy who said he could get Juan Soto out, by the way.
ESPN West Palm on Instagram. You could go check out the video there.
Remember,
It's also the same guy who said he could get Juan Soto out if he bats lefty.
That's what I
when
said.
he is a lefty.
That's what I said. I think he'd get a hit by pitch.
He goes, he has to bat lefty. I'm like, well, dude, you're not.
He
You're
is-
gonna.
he is a lefty,
You're gonna
brother.
hate this news.
Because Juan Soto is a lefty, brother. Colin, let me tell you about our good friends at Hard Rock Bet because I have a way for you right now to make some cash. You're going to go to my Instagram at MikeRizzo22, and you're going to fade every single one of my picks that I picked in my parlay because I am 0 for 2 already on my parlay. And for those of you who have made bets or whatever, you know when the first two first bets miss on a parlay, the other two are doomed as well. So go check out my Instagram. That's at MikeRizzo22. I'm going to be putting together parlays all March long. This is not the parlay. So go fade me with our good friends at Hard Rock Bet. But as I mentioned, The hardwood is heating up, and new signups. So all you snowbirds out there, new signups can double their winnings on their first 10 bets. It's a maximum of 50 bets, so you can take advantage of the double. But your winnings are doubled on your first 10 bets. If you would have bet $100 on your bet, make that 200. So don't sit on the bench. Download the Hard Rock Bet app today and get ready for a real fun March. We got Conference Championship Weekend coming up this weekend, and obviously Conference Championship Week going on right now. I'm betting on all that right now. And then we got the big tournament coming up in March. It's a perfect time to get signed up. I mentioned to you guys last year, I loved betting the unders. The unders won me a ton of money in the tournament in March. Look into that. Look into what you want to bet coming up for the big tournament with our good friends at Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or a friend are concerned about gambling, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. It's 1-833-PLAY-WISE. And remember, payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. It's our good friends at Hard Rock Bet.
Let's do a little 5-5 presented by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking big time.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Number 1.
Italy blew out Mexico 9-1 last night in the World Baseball Classic, which actually kept Team USA alive after their rough 8-6 loss to Italy on Tuesday. Mike, after that loss, you said you were embarrassed by the result and that you were officially done watching Team USA games. But now that the U.S. survived and advanced to the knockout stage, I've got to ask, are you tuning back in, or are you sticking to your boycott?
I mean, I'm fully expecting to lose to Canada. So I don't think the team is together. I don't think the team cares very much. So I like Mark DeRosa a lot. Great dude. All right. I don't think I could take him for his word on anything when it comes to that team anymore. He told us before the tournament, these guys are bought in. These guys want to win. We had the massive exodus of about 4 pitchers after that game.
Not his fault, but yes.
I just there's bad mojo. There's bad mojo with that Team USA team.
It started when Tarek Skubal left town.
I don't think these guys care. Similar to the Dominican Republic, those guys care. Japan, those guys care. Venezuela, those guys care. I think they're the 5th best team in the field right now. I went through it. I went through the power rankings. DR, Japan, Italy, Venezuela, Team USA. I think Team USA is the 5th best team in that competition, which is crazy because they have the best roster. They had the best pitching. We'll have to wait and see after the mass exodus. But of course I'm going to watch. And of course I'm going to complain and moan and groan if they stink because we invented the game. It's similar to basketball. I get into it because this is one of those sports that I expect Team USA to not only win, but also dominate. We haven't put up 10 runs yet. We haven't put up 10 runs against Great Britain or Italy. And you lost to Italy, which is the United States D team. Come on, guys. I'm upset. I don't know. Of course I'm going to watch, but I'm not expecting anything.
Now, 2 things can be true. It's an unacceptable loss. You cannot lose that game with the amount of talent that you have on the team, and you can't just lay an egg like that offensively when you're going against a lot of no-names on Team Italy. But another thing is this tournament doesn't necessarily lend itself to what baseball actually is. Baseball's meant to be played in a 5-game, 7-game format, maybe even a wild card. It's rarely ever supposed to be played in a one-off. And the United States went 3-1 in their group stage. They had a good differential. It was just such a tight squeeze and turnaround to the knockout stage that they almost got burned, and they were in a tougher group than maybe anticipated. With all of that said, yeah, you cannot lose to Italy with the amount of talent you have. You can't slip up the whole way. You should have went undefeated in this tournament. And now you have a situation where you're going to have to deal with the Dominican Republic in the semifinal. And the winner's going to be against maybe a Japan or maybe Team Italia again, where you're going to have to deal with them. So I don't know how they'll show up, but I do have confidence that they'll not only be in the semifinal, they're going to play hard. They're going to play hard.
I would hope. And
it's baseball. You can lose one game. It happens. It doesn't lend itself in this tournament.
You can lose to the DR You can lose to Venezuela. You can lose to Japan. You can't lose to Italy, who has all of the Americans playing for them. It's literally a bunch of Italian Americans that took you to school. Fair play to him. Give me a shot of espresso. What's number 2?
Number 2.
According to Adam Schefter, Kyler Murray is set to meet with the Minnesota Vikings today, just one day after being officially released by the Arizona Cardinals, where he spent 7 seasons. Minnesota has a reputation for being a quarterback-friendly franchise, so the big question is, are the Vikings the perfect landing spot for Kyler Murray, or is there a better option?
Perfect spot for him. A little different with what they're used to because they've had Darnold, they've had Kirk Cousins, they've had J.J. McCarthy, and J.J. McCarthy's good on his feet, but he's not a runner. Kyler Murray's a runner. He's an athlete. And if there's one thing Kevin O'Connell can do is he can speak to that position, and if you have talent, he'll get it out of you. Now, I'm under the impression that J.J. McCarthy doesn't have a ton of talent, but he was very successful in college. I'm under the impression that Kyler Murray has a lot of talent. There's no doubt about that, right? He was never necessarily given a team that allows him to thrive and succeed. The Cardinals were terrible when he didn't play. They were fine when he did. This is a perfect spot for him. If he's really thinking about a situation, they're not going to owe him a lot of money. He can sign there for little. And if he's good, the Vikings get bailed out. They get bailed out because of a bad pick with J.J. McCarthy. And I think if Kyler Murray were to get signed to the Vikings, I think McCarthy's got a lot to worry about because I think they're going to view that quarterback competition as objective and as open season. So I'd be nervous if I was J.J. McCarthy right about now.
I would too. I find it hard to believe that they would completely move on from him after a year. And trust me, you guys know what college team, I root for.
No one's thinking about Ohio State. No one cares.
But at the same time, 1 year, he looked bad. The tape was awful. You go back and you watch J.J. McCarthy.
Not just like he wasn't ready. It looked historically bad.
Right. But 1 year, that guy's going to get 1 year. That's why I don't think he ends up with the Vikings. O'Connell, really good quarterback coach. You think maybe he's going to give him another 5-6 games?
Maybe. Does he do it because he feels like he's owed it?
Maybe. I don't know if the Vikings want to risk going 2-4 to start the year.
That's another point. We know that this team can win games. We know that.
But you're going to bring in Kyler? So McCarthy missed games with injury the first year. He didn't play a single snap. Last year, Colin, I don't have the numbers in front of me.
New injury every single game.
That's what I mean. But and then you're going to bring in Kyler, who's an injured-prone quarterback as well. That's why I don't think he's going to go to the Vikings. I mean, he's going to be a starter. If I had to pick a team, I guess just looking at this objectively, he's not going to go to the Jets. They already have a quarterback. He's not going to go anywhere in the NFC North.
Not going to go to the Colts. Colts just signed Jones.
He's not going to go to the Colts. I mean, the Saints don't want him. I really don't know. If it's not the Vikings, I don't have a good answer for you.
Could he go to the Rams and back up Matthew Stafford for a year?
I don't think he's going to want to do that, though. Don't you think Kyler has too much pride to go be somewhere? Damien, what did you say? Go ahead.
In the case that Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back to Pittsburgh, would they be an option?
He'd get killed in that division.
It's an outdoor division. I don't know if he'd like that.
He'd get killed in that division. That division, you need a 6'2", 6'3" statue in the pocket unless you're Lamar Jackson. And listen, Lamar Jackson,
good franchise. They got a talented offense, and they got a good quarterback coach.
I don't think Kyler, and I don't think he's big enough for the AFC North. If it's not Minnesota, I don't have an answer for you. I thought maybe the Jets, and they went,
Could he swallow his pride
They
for
went
a year?
back to the ex-girlfriend and Geno Smith.
Sean McVay and Les need to go up to him and say, this is Stafford's last year. This is the last year of his 2-year contract that he signed. Can you sit a year, and you'll be the spearhead for the Rams going forward?
Don't think that's a stat. And you might disagree with me on this. I don't think Kyler Murray is a Sean McVay quarterback. I don't think he is. I really don't.
You might be right there.
I really don't.
But if he could sit there for a year and learn it and learn to be one,
Pittsburgh's a good shout, but I don't think that division works for him. I think it's the Vikings are a bust, and I truly don't see them looking at J.J. McCarthy and going, "Yep, you're out," after one season. Maybe I'm wrong.
Watch the Rams be a sneaky pick here.
Is McCarthy that bad? That's what you have to ask yourself.
They don't know. I mean, yeah, he didn't play well last year, but the problem with the Vikings is they drafted him when they didn't really know what to do with the position, and They walked into a great situation with Sam Darnold winning 14 games. And then they had another decision to make, and they made the wrong decision in hindsight.
Did. And guess what? The people who made that decision are no longer there.
So that's a good point. With Kwesi, the general manager, he's out. So now they have an additional decision to make, and do we hitch our wagon, hitch our careers to this quarterback, or do we try to fix and salvage whatever we can of this already pretty good win-now team that we have that has a lot of age to it? Do we try to salvage something this year?
Is Murray a franchise quarterback?
Well, I mean, they get him for cheap. Go find out. If he is, go find out.
I thought it was going to be the Jets for him.
He's got an offset contract. He's owed $36 million. Go sign a 1-year, $10 million prove-it deal, and be there just in case if McCarthy still struggles in preseason.
Are the Arizona Cardinals gung-ho on Jacoby Brissett for a year, by the way? Is that what it's looking like?
That'll be a team that drafts somebody. That'll be a team that drafts somebody.
I think Brissett, I think Brissett will be the start out of camp. But regardless, full circle moment.
They'll draft somebody.
If Murray doesn't go to the Vikings, I don't know where he goes because we're running out of spots.
Number 3.
Staying in the NFL, the Baltimore Ravens made headlines this week after trading for Max Crosby from the Las Vegas Raiders, only to back out of the deal later that same week after Crosby reportedly failed his physical. Now some people around the league are questioning the ethics of the move, and Ravens GM Eric DeCosta addressed whether this could affect the Ravens' relationships with other GMs and agents around the league, and here is what he had to say.
Well, it hasn't stopped my phone from ringing, I'll tell you that. I think our relationship with agents and with other teams is really, really good. I understand the question. I think that GMs understand the importance of getting as much information as possible before making decisions. And I would say that most agents would say that myself, George, Nick, Mark Acevedo, Ozzy, Sashi, everybody that works with agents would say that we're a class organization that does business the right way, respectful, and willing to get deals done.
My question to you is, will this situation hurt the Ravens' relationships around the league, or is DeCosta right? It's simply part of doing business in the NFL.
Yeah, we don't know enough about the situation in terms of how their standing is with agents and other general managers, but how wouldn't this hurt?
Yeah.
Why? How could this be a net positive in any way, or a net baseline for in any way in terms of the Ravens' standing with the rest of the league? They operated in bad faith. They really did burn the Raiders in terms of how they're going to approach their offseason. And now they have a bunch of decisions to make. The Raiders, that they have Max Crosby still on their payroll, and they're trying to get rid of him. And they already traded him. So you can't just bring him back and strut him out there in a Raider jersey next year. You got to find a way you got to find somewhere to put him.
The issue is I can't remember the last time this happened. And
I
think
mean, like,
that's
guys
the
have
issue.
had injuries pop up and then it gets voided.
But my thing's
But
like
backing out is another situation.
And like he knew about the injury as well. We all knew Crosby was
he's
dealing
recovering
with
from
something.
a meniscus tear.
Like I think it was just cold feet. I really do. I think they were worried about the haul, the 2 first-round picks that they gave up. What was the haul again? Two
first-round picks.
And was there a second rounder in there as well?
It was 2 first-rounders and maybe
regardless,
something
I think they were worried that they gave up too much and they ultimately ended up backing out. They thought maybe, hey, Jesse Minter, we're really going to go into this without 2 draft picks for his first 2 years. I told you what Tony Grossi said. By the way, Tony Grossi, reporter for ESPN Cleveland, our sister station, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Grossi's been covering the AFC North and the Browns for 35 years. He said if this was the Cleveland Browns and they tried to back out of the trade, the NFL would have said tough luck. And I think people are starting to catch on a little bit that the NFL did the Ravens a solid here. I don't know. Baltimore getting the benefit of the doubt labeled me as unshocked. Label me as unshocked.
We'll see how well they are able to, money talks. I'm not talking about wooing free agents, but doing deals with other NFL teams, that's what you have to wait and see on. Because free agents are going to go wherever the money is. They're going to go wherever the money is.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say I agree with Tony, but at the same time, like, you never see stuff like this. The league seriously let them back out of that?
Number 4.
Miami of Ohio had an unbelievable regular season, going 31-0, but the run came to an end in the MAC Conference Tournament quarterfinals, where they lost 87-83 to UMass. So the question now becomes, should Miami of Ohio still be a lock for the NCAA tournament despite the early conference tournament loss?
I don't think this is a question. I think you absolutely do. ESPN Analytics have them at like a 39% 40% at getting into the tournament, which I'm pretty shocked by. And if that is a snub in favor of some Power 5 team that has squandered every opportunity they've gotten in terms of Quad 1, and they haven't beaten a lot of great teams, and they've lost a lot of bad games, I can't sit here and clamor in favor of that team, an anti-1 team who had one slip-up in 32 games. You got to reward that at a Division I level. It does not matter the strength of schedule. Ken Palm. And I agree. I think college basketball is in a good spot because there's so many metrics, and you have to play to the metrics. Net, Ken Palm, strength of record, all of that, I think, makes a big difference in terms of how to differentiate these teams. It's a good system. But you can't overanalyze 31-1. You can't overanalyze that. You got to throw them in. It's worth the spot, especially when there's not 64 worthy teams. There's not. Maybe they get the first 4, you swallow that pill and you deal with it, but I definitely think they should get in.
Didn't play a Quad 1 opponent all year. Go in the first 4 and go earn it. Go beat Auburn.
31-0 didn't earn it?
No.
Now you're being unfair.
Winning their last 3 games in a...
That does not matter.
The
committee does not care about that.
Fine, I do. Love the MAC. Winning your last 3 games by 2 points, all right? Like, if they were blowing out every single MAC opponent they played and they won a couple of games in Cleveland, yes, absolutely. I don't like how they ended the season and losing to UMass and Frank Martin the first game in Cleveland. You got to go earn it in the first 4. Go beat your first Quad 1 team all year and go earn it.
Number 5.
Last but not least, we are now 2 days removed from Bam Adebayo's shocking the basketball world by scoring 83 points in a single game, passing Kobe Bryant in his iconic 81-point performance. Former All-Star Gordon Hayward joined on Sportsmanlike this morning, which you can hear from 6 to 10 a.m. on ESPN 106.3, and he raised some questions about the legitimacy of Bam's historic performance. Take a listen.
Like, no disrespect to Bam. I think Bam is one of the best two-way players in the league at his position, but he's not a scorer, right? And so it's like, for him to break Kobe's record, I think it just is, I don't think it's great for the league. I think it kind of highlights how they're already struggling with, it kind of feels like a pickup game when you're watching. And for him to shoot 43 free throws and 22 threes when that's not what he does, it almost like, and again, like the Wizards too, for them to, like, with all these teams tanking, it kind of makes it feel not legit, I guess is what I would say.
Does Hayward have a point, or are people just trying to poke holes in an all-time performance?
Quickly, I agree with everything he said there. Absolutely everything. The only thing he forgot was the intentional fouling with 3 minutes to go and purposely missing free throws. The Miami Heat were purposely,
twice, but yes,
missing free throws. Listen, we did a ton of this yesterday. You guys all know where I stand. I think there's a big problem with the NBA. I think this is, he mentioned the tanking. The Wizards are an awful team. They got exactly what they deserved. Bam Adebayo should never score 83 points in an NBA game. It's not his game. I had a real problem with the late game fouling and the way this was handled. He should have been on the end of the bench in the third quarter, as far as I'm concerned.
Why is everybody acting like scoring 80 points, period? He said pickup game. When's the last time you saw anybody score 80 points or get 43 free throws in a pickup game? So let me ask that. When does that happen? Not often? All right, so it doesn't happen often. When does 83 points happen in a college basketball game, in a high school game, in a NBA game, semi-professional, Hong Kong? When does that happen? The answer is it rarely ever happens. Yes. Is it gimmicky? Yes. The point you have to take one side with the other. If you're ever going to break a scoring record in the NBA, and Kobe's 81 is its own scoring record, you're going to have to stat pad. That is just how it goes. Is it a little phony with how we got the last 10, 15 points of the game? Sure. But the previous 60, a lot of it's legitimate. You got to be fair. I understand 43 free throws is ridiculous, but at the end of the day, if anybody could do it, anybody would do it. And not everybody can do it, but Bam did do it. So that's why I wouldn't say I can't delegitimize this entire thing. And I think it's Gordon Hayward. He mentioned the Kobe game. He was on the court for that Kobe game when he had 61 points. Sometimes it's for the novelty of basketball. I mean, you're not going to take this at face value that this is one of the great performances in the history of the NBA. That's when the postseason comes in. That's what you do in the postseason. That is not what you do in the regular. You think Jokic getting 20? Remember when he had 53 points and 22 assists and 20 rebounds, like whatever it was. When that stuff like that happens, you don't think some of it was stat padded? I mean, that's just how basketball is. You can't get these statistics naturally. So I understand his perspective. I think the points he made about it being a pickup game, there's levels to it that they're just getting shots up. But to that same token, it's not a pickup game because the entire opposite team was adamantly trying to keep Bam Adebayo from scoring.
Which they couldn't because they're a college team. They're a G League team. And they're trying to lose games and they get ping pong balls.
Still professionals.
That's
they were not
league
trying.
right now.
The game was lost. They were not trying to allow him to get 83 points.
That league has about 7 good teams, probably 2 or 3 great teams. All right, the rest is just trying to compete for ping pong balls. That's it.
I don't think it's fair for Gordon Hayward to say that, but I understand the perspective.
It's gimmicky. It's as gimmicky as it gets.
The last 10, 15 points were gimmicky. Period. What about the previous 60?
Yeah. Listen, the 3 quarters Bam played were unbelievable. Put him on the end of the bench. I liked your Klay Thompson shout yesterday.
He had 61 3/4. They put him on the bench. He had 37 1/4. They didn't really play in the rest of the game. That was it. So to put a cap on it, Gordon Hayward, he's allowed to think that. I think NBA players are probably a little ego shot by the fact that it was number 1 Kobe and it wasn't them. You know, what if Gordon Hayward got 83? You think Gordon Hayward would sing the same tune if he somehow got 83 points in a game?
I know you disagree with me on this.
It's a good shot. Gordon Hayward is a similar level of player to Bam Adebayo to the point where if Gordon Hayward got 83 points, you'd view it the same.
I know you disagree with me on this. Kobe's 81 was fluid, man. Guy couldn't miss. 73% from the field, 17 of 20 from the free throw line.
I understand.
How he was unconscious.
I understand.
Bam Adebayo was 7 of 21, 20 from 3. Bam shot 23 pointers. That is a joke in itself.
20 of 43 from the field, and he had 31 points in the first quarter.
The 43 free throws, the big shooting 23s, that's pickup.
Would you rather have 28 points in the fourth?
Actually, you know what? After thinking about it, I actually do agree with the pickup game.
When's the last time you had somebody had 83 points in a pickup game? You remember one?
I don't have an answer. All I'm saying is for a big man to shoot.
I think the NBA regular season can have a little pickup tendencies. Not that game.
Like I said, this was yesterday's news. You can go back on our YouTube channel, watch the show. We talked all show about it. All right. For the big to shoot 23 pointers and to get to the free throw line 43 times and the intentionally missing free throws and the intentionally fouling with 3 minutes to go. That's my issue. That's it.
83 points. I agree. It's asterisk because you knew the situation. It wasn't in the playoffs. You got to go through each of the games and determine who stat padded and who didn't. You know, you go to Jordan's career high, which is 69 points. A lot of that was fluid too. Yeah, it wasn't as impressive. I view Kobe's as 81 as better, but it still is a number. People are going to remember the number, not the context. So, I mean, honestly, just like it's a regular season game against the Wizards. Let the Heat have it. They're going to put a banner up and let them have their fun with it.
They're going to put a banner up for 83.
They might.
Oh, my God. What a waste. That's a waste of time.
They might.
Are you serious?
Second most points ever in an NBA game.
80. Dude, they didn't. Listen. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's fine. Mike,
Dude,
it's the number.
That's
Mike,
a waste.
It's the number. It's the number.
It is an absolute waste.
If they win their division, they throw up a banner.
Fine. That's more important than 83
it's
points.
Not. No, it's not.
I think it is.
Winning your division?
I think so.
Oh, please.
That's banner worthy.
Please.
It's banner worthy.
The division?
Yes.
Can you name the 3 divisions in the Eastern Conference?
Hang on. The Atlantic, the Central. I'm struggling. And the South.
That nobody cares about
Atlantic,
the divisions.
Mid-Atlantic? That's a shtick?
A shtick?
I know the Cavs play in the Central, and I don't mind the Colin, not everyone can win a championship. You got to put a banner up for something.
83 points.
No.
There it is. You nailed it.
Waste
you got
of time.
It. You
Waste
got
of
it.
time. The Heat are an organization with, 3 championships?
They got to put
They don't need to put up 83.
Put a plaque, put a banner, something, a flag, 83 points.
Need to put a banner up for the King. That's what they need to do.
In-season tournament. Would you rather put a banner up for the in-season tournament win, a championship in the in-season tournament, which you hate, or 83 points in a game?
Neither.
83 points in the game is the correct answer.
Neither.
83 points.
Bam will get his jersey retired, and they could, with the fine print, they could throw in the 83. How about that?
83 points. Get him on a flag. Banner.
Banner?
Well, if the in-season tournament's getting a banner, the 83
It
points.
didn't break a record, though. 83 didn't break a record.
It dominated a Heat record. What was the previous high for the Heat? Like 61, maybe? 58?
It was LeBron James, and I believe it was 61.
I want to say it was 61.
It was the famous, and forgive me, I forget the broadcaster's name, throwing a golf ball in an ocean. I think he had like 9 threes in the game.
61.
That's 61 better than the 83, but neither here nor there.
You're being unfair there.
No, I'm not. They weren't intentionally fouling and going to the free throw line 43 times.
Being a little unfair. But I don't know. Retired jerseys, conference titles, division titles. The Southeast, by the way.
You didn't know that either.
I didn't.
Do not scold.
I didn't because
Do
the
not
divisions.
scold.
Well, you know why? Because the divisions don't matter.
You know what division your team plays in. Is that fair?
Fine.
What are the Hornets playing?
The Atlantic.
There you go.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
I've never once thought about
Yes,
an NBA
it
division.
does.
Never once in my life, and I never will again.
And dude, it does. It matters.
I'm pretty sure. I'm not even positive. I'm incorrect. It's the Southeast.
Matters in football.
You know why? Because
matters in football too.
Well, it matters in football because there's a division. There's a playoff spot allocated to it.
Well, yeah, we all know. Everyone loves the playing tournament in the NBA.
So the divisions mean absolutely nothing. Bam Adebayo, he'll get a flag. Put him up, flag, plaque, something. Got to commemorate it. It was impressive, and Mike's being unfair. Maybe not Kobe's 81. Fine. You got to be fair. You know what is fair, and nobody can ever delegitimize you for doing it, is going to F45 training. Let's talk about training. I'm not talking about working out. I'm talking about training. That's feeling stronger, faster, more conditioned. F45 West Palm Beach really delivers. F45 stands for functional 45, which is a 45-minute high-intensity team training session. That is, like-minded fitness individuals, 2 coaches on site, loud music. It's class style, so you're in and out. You blink and it's over. It's a different workout every single day. You're stepping into a real fun environment that promotes getting into good shape, increasing your strength, pushing your limits, but also in a safe and fun, not too cutthroat environment. That's what F45 West Palm Beach really delivers with you. Get your first 3 classes for just $30 today. That's 3 classes for $30. F45.com/West Palm Beach. F45 West Palm Beach. Team training, life changing. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Damian Perez. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? When you're injured in a car crash, we focus on your case so you can focus on the one thing that matters most. Getting better. I'm Glenn Levine with Anajar and Levine. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWestPalmContests.com. That's ESPNWestPalmContests.com.
College basketball is heating up and the tournament is almost here. Don't let your home get caught off guard. Get ready now with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can get 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the court, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS has been the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSisyes.com today. Stay cool and be ready before the madness hits.
Hi, everyone. This is Tyler Hero.
This is Bam Adebayo.
This is Jaime Jaquez Jr.
This is Nikola Jovic.
It's Kasper Sigurdsson.
It's Norman Powell, and you're listening to ESPN 106.3 and the ESPN South Florida app.
ESPN 106.3 is your home for Miami Heat basketball.
Changing your own oil? That's a great way to save money. Just make sure you're doing it responsibly. 1 cup of spilled motor oil can contaminate more than 62,000 gallons of fresh water. Here are 3 simple rules to follow. Place used motor oil in an airtight container. Keep some sand or kitty litter close by to help soak up spills. And responsibly dispose of used motor oil at one of 7 Solid Waste Authority home chemical and recycling centers in Palm Beach County. Learn more at swa.org/HCRC.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Need an extra boost? With Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union, you can earn up to $700 each year with a 7.0% annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's real money for real moments, like a family getaway or treating yourself to something special. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Well, been in a car accident, truck accident, suffered a slip and fall. My friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine are the option for you because they don't even charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve in these cases. When you're wondering who's got my back, who's going to get my back in this situation, I need to get my money back. That's where Anajar and Levine come in. Don't settle for just any attorney. Go get the best. Go demand the best. Go get Mark and Glenn down here in South Florida. Take that one phone call. Take back control of your life. Go get your free consultation today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Take back control now with Anajar and Levine. So we were talking about where to put Miami of Ohio in the tournament, and maybe Auburn would be that team that gets the at-large bid. Auburn just suffered their 16th loss. They were the 12th seed in the SEC tournament after going 7-11 in conference. They lost to Tennessee, blew a lead, by the way. And Tennessee moves on. And Auburn now 17-16. They had the 4th-ranked strength of schedule in the college basketball, and they are viewed as one of the first 4 out, last 4 in situation. How do you handle them?
I think they needed to win that game. Wouldn't you agree? I think they're out. They have to be out. 16 losses.
It's bad.
7-11 in conference. Now technically counting 7-12. No, did they play a game before? Technically 8-12, whatever, would have been the same. You get what I'm saying. They needed to win that against a top 25 opponent in Tennessee. They needed one more great win. Dude, 16 losses? You go put a 500 team in the NCAA tournament? I get that they have a tough schedule. What'd you say, 3rd toughest in the country?
Yeah.
I get all that. 16 losses.
I agree. Listen, I would put other teams before you. I would put Texas in before I get them, but Texas also lost. You know, you want to put Cal in. Cal's in an ACC. The ACC is not as good, and they lost.
Yep.
Stanford, another situation. Stanford's got a great freshman, Okori, Emeka Okori, top 20, top 15 freshman in the country. Great player, averages 23 a game. They lost in their first round too. So it's an impossible situation to figure out who to put in. They're almost running out of spots. I don't know if Auburn's still going to get in. This makes selection kind of very interesting.
It does. And you mentioned that the bubble isn't what it has been in years past, right? I think everyone's going to be locked into the Miami of Ohio situation. Like, Colin, they probably needed to win one game. You're probably right on that. I'm a little harsh. Make the championship game. Miami of Ohio realistically probably need to win one game, and they're completely safe of getting an at-large bid. Now you got Auburn, you got Miami of Ohio. I think Indiana fans still would make a case.
Right.
Now that Auburn lost, like Indiana fans are going to come out of the woodwork and say they belong in, even though they lost to Northwestern. So I'm a little interested to see how they handle it.
So Joe Lunardi, who is the ESPN bracketologist, just released this seconds ago. His last 4 buys are NC State, Santa Clara, UCF, and Miami of Ohio. His last 4 in the tournament are Missouri, VCU, Texas, and SMU. His first 4 out, Auburn, Indiana, New Mexico, and Oklahoma.
Auburn, Indiana, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. Okay.
Those are the first. Those are the ones that
Oklahoma plays somebody tonight. They play a ranked matchup.
They've been a weird team too because they have good wins, but they have to deal with A&M tonight.
It's
the same round. It's the same round, so it's hard to hard to gauge.
Yeah. But if they still
and
have
Missouri lost as well.
They still have it. Oklahoma still has a chance to improve their resume. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of the teams that you just mentioned that control their own destiny. Indiana doesn't. They lost. Give me them again. Auburn, they don't. They
Indiana
lost.
out. Auburn out. Oklahoma still has to play tonight. Missouri is out.
Yeah,
Texas is out. SMU is out. VCU. I think VCU is still alive in the A-10 tournament.
Okay.
So.
Virginia Commonwealth.
And then Miami of Ohio, UCF is still going. So, I think they lost today, but they won yesterday, beat Cincinnati. That got them into the tournament, so they're good. They're all good there. And UCF lost to Arizona today by 22, but it didn't matter. They're already in the tournament. NC State is one of the last 4 buys, so Carter in Atlanta was right. Santa Clara obviously was a buy when beating St. Mary's, got them there. And then Miami of Ohio.
Yeah.
That's
even with the loss, Joe, the great one, the anointed one, Joe Lunardi, who predicts this better than anybody.
Yeah, the one thing I don't like about it is he still has 10 SEC teams getting bids. The SEC does not have 10 bids.
Are they the best conference? I don't think so.
Big 12 is the best conference.
I even would maybe even rate some of the Big Ten teams.
Yeah, Big Ten's having a good year. It's Big Ten and Big 12.
I am.
So Big 12 just has 2 national
champions. And usually the Big Ten, the last, 8 years, they've usually been like a 2-team league with Michigan State and Michigan.
Right.
Now you got Illinois, you got Purdue, who, and I forgot to mention Purdue, Vinny Sutherland, my guy, I apologize. But Purdue, you had Edie, they went to the championship. Colin, that's the one Big Ten team I'm actually not sold on at all is Purdue.
Right.
Well, they're a ranked team. I understand all that.
They had a lot of bad losses.
Dude, at the end of the year, they had bad losses. Didn't your Bucky's Badgers beat them?
At home on Saturday.
And then they lost to Ohio State.
I think it's an overrated team. The thing is, I love their players individually. I just don't think it's a great team. Well, they get punked. They're not athletic.
No,
that's
they're
their
not.
problem. They're not athletic.
Now, guards, good guard play wins March.
Yeah, but
Braden Smith and Lawyer are good.
Yeah, they got great guards. But
Lawyer and Smith, yeah.
They cannot play defense. They're not athletic enough. So I wonder what's going to happen there, but they do have Miami of Ohio not only getting a bye. I know how the last 4 in, it works out a little differently, but they need to put in 4 11 seeds. And if it's Missouri, VCU, Texas, and SMU instead of Miami of Ohio, I think the best way to do it is to have Miami of Ohio play a team.
Well, they got to earn their way in.
Yeah, I like that. I think it gives you a reason to watch it.
Earn your way in. You went 31-0 in the regular season, and you lost in your first round of your conference tournament.
Yeah, we need Texas SMU, really. I know these teams are giving everybody a hard decision to make.
Now,
Miami
I don't know how these other big time, when I say big time Power 5 schools are going to feel when Miami of Ohio loses by 25 points. Because I think that's what's going to happen when they play a Power 5 team.
All right, so here's where I don't like it. Because 2 years ago, they did the same thing with Virginia as a bad, middling, great program from a good conference. They threw them into the first 4. And they played Colorado, and it was the worst first 4 game I think.
Those 2 teams were awful.
But that was what they did. Oh, Power 5 team over
the. They keep out the Sycamores, Indiana State.
They kept out
or Drake.
It
was one of them.
Seton Hall too.
Yeah,
they kept out Seton Hall.
I think we wanted to see Indiana State with their big
and with Robbie Villa
with glasses, who's still playing somehow.
That's why. And they put it in Indiana, and they got smoked. And it was like a 36 to 42 game. It was awful. So because of that, give them a chance. The Navy should be in here somewhere. Too bad. Navy should be in here. But
give them a chance.
We'll see.
The end of the season bothered me.
We'll blitz the book, make our picks next. That's Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Damian Prez, Russo and Rizzo, on ESPN 106.3.
which is the southern part of the United States, especially the southeastern part of the United States, that risk is even higher. A lot of that's due to dehydration, which is probably the biggest risk factor for kidney stone formation, as well as diet. Having high oxalate-rich foods can predispose to stone formation risk. Florida is right in the middle of the stone belt, so a much higher risk of having stone disease here.
That was Dr. Joshua S. Jew from the Palm Beach Network Physician Group. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362 or go online to pbhnphysiciangroup.com.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo. It's the last week of spring training at Cacti Park. You got about now to the end of the next week to go get your tickets today, because take advantage. Spring training, MLB baseball, Major League stars are not going to be back here in West Palm Beach until next year. Go take advantage of intimate, right in your face, family time baseball right over at Cacti Park, right down the street here on Military Trail. You can see the Astros or the Nationals go head to head with some of the baseball's finest. You get the Mets coming into town this weekend, and March 22nd is the last game. Then we get into the season. So go take advantage. Go get involved. CactiPark.com to get your tickets today. If you want to go next week, Mike Rizzo and I will be throwing out the first pitch on Tuesday, I believe. So we're going to be throwing out the first pitch on Tuesday. If you want to come and see if we could get it over the plate, throw a strike even perhaps.
I'm going to try to throw a strike.
Throw a strike.
Remember last year
we got
bad intel saying, oh, it's longer than expected. We had that in our sleep. So this year will be significantly better from Russo and Rizzo. Now, Colin, you're running home because you got to I know you're starving. You got to run home and make dinner to make sure you sit down in time for your UConn Huskies taking on Xavier in the Big East tournament.
Close enough. I'm going to be here. We have hot dogs here from the Sweet Day that they had over at Roger Dean Chevrolet. And then I'm heading over to Suncoast to watch them versus.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry you were on the clock tonight. But regardless, you're going to be into that UConn game.
I'll be following it. They should win.
I thought about taking that game tonight with our good friends at Hard Rock.
They should win.
Bet.
It'll be close. I wouldn't touch the spread.
It was, dude. If anything, you touch Xavier because UConn's here by 16.5.
I would take Xavier there.
Xavier.
I would take Xavier there. Let's blitz the book with
Oh, sorry.
Hard Rock Bet.
Send some heat. Pin your ears back. It's time to blitz the book. Presented by Hard Rock Bet.
All right, you know what we're going to take? We're going to take a bunch of college games today. Anything you're hot on? We just talked about the Duke-Xavier game. I would take Xavier. Listen, I love UConn. I do not think they're winning by 20 tonight.
17. You don't think they can win by 17? All right, we'll take Xavier.
I'll plus 16 and a half.
I'll get into Xavier.
UConn's coming off a loss against Marquette, so maybe they play motivated, but they're not going to have one of their key bench players. I don't know.
It's your squad. You sure
you're
okay?
I agree. Mike, they win. They will win, but they will make it closer than it needs to be.
Okay.
They are not good at putting teams. The 2024 team is as good as any team I've ever seen at putting teams away.
All right, throw Xavier to cover 16.5. I think you got to take Duke tonight. Dude, Florida State hoops, man.
Yeah, Duke kills everybody. They've been dominating everybody. I don't hate that at all.
Florida State right now, and listen, I apologize to all my Florida State people here at the office. God, that is a pathetic sports school right now.
That's
with football and basketball.
That's a 16.5 I can get behind.
I feel so bad for the Florida State faithful. You got to go Duke.
I don't hate that at all. I have no problems with that.
We were gung-ho on the Big Ten earlier.
Yeah, how about we take Oklahoma tonight to put some pressure on everybody else and win tonight against Texas A&M in the tournament?
Okay, I'll listen to that. I think Colin, I think all those SEC teams are the same. I think they're average. I think the Missouris, the Kentuckys, the A&Ms, the Auburns, I think they're all bang average. I like that Oklahoma pick tonight.
No problem there. That's Porter Moser, coaches that team, the former Loyola Chicago coach. So he's been there for a number of years. All right, outside of that, we got 3 bets on the parlay. Let's add one more. There's a couple big ones tonight. Here, I got one for you if I can find it.
Do we take the Bobcats of Ohio University?
No, we do not. You want to take the Ohio Bobcats today?
Plus
Who do they
4.5
have in the MAC tournament?
Kent State in Cleveland.
No, I don't love it.
You're right on it?
Yeah, I think we can leave that one out. I
Okay.
have no problem with that. Unless you're hot on it.
No, I'm not hot on it.
Here's another one.
What's another one?
TCU against Kansas, plus 4.5.
I know nothing about TCU. I know a lot about Kansas. Kansas is good. They struggled late in the year. What do you know
TCU.
about? Sell me on TCU.
All right,
I know
TCU
nothing.
beat Wisconsin. They should have beaten.
That's why.
They should have beaten Michigan.
Okay.
They beat Kansas at Kansas this year. They've beaten Houston. It's one of those teams. Jamie Dixon coaches the team, who was a former coach at Pitt in the Big East days, and very underrated. They're one of the fastest teams in the country. All they do is fast break.
Hang on. I think I got my sign. Did he coach DeJuan Blair,
He did.
Levance Field, and Sam Young?
Yeah.
All right.
In the
we're
old
on him.
days.
We're on him.
Jamie Dixon.
We're on him. We're on him.
Plus 4.5. It's a team that plays well against good teams. They have a lot of bad losses, but if they need to improve their selection seed by or maybe a point or two, they beat Kansas.
I forgot to send you.
And they beat Kansas already, which is why I maybe don't like it, but let's do it.
What are our odds, Kyle?
Plus 4.5.
Okay, and all together with our good friends at Hard Rock Bet.
Plus 12.58.
Oh, wow.
So Xavier plus 16.5. Duke minus 16.5. Xavier's playing UConn tonight in the Big East tournament. Duke is playing Florida State in the ACC tournament. Oklahoma's plus 1.5. TCU is plus 4.5. Oklahoma's taking on Texas A&M, and Kansas is taking on TCU. And A&M's overrated, too. A&M's got a new coach, Bucky McMillan. He's a good coach. They had a great start to the year. They were the top team in the SEC entering February because they played nobody, and then they fell apart.
Let's hope that we can win this parlay because, Colin, it's probably going to – Wisconsin busted my parlay. Watch him be the only one that – because Tennessee came back and they covered the spread.
Right. I don't know why you're betting Wisconsin.
Oh, they're up 20.
Don't know why you're betting Wisconsin.
7 minutes ago, up 20 points.
Most predictable problem in the history of problems. Don't rely on Wisconsin in March. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Damian Prez. Appreciate Damian Prez keeping us up over the airwaves today. If you missed any of the program, go listen back on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Russo and Rizzo will be live from Cacti Park, I believe. We'll have a good time there. Looking forward to that. It's been ESPN 106.3.